Welcome. In a previous video I went over the process of creating an encrypted disk image on a Mac, and I'll put a link in the description of that video. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use this on a file server. So I'm on one of my Macs right now, and this folder you see here called Secret is on my Synology NAS on a share called DS Share, and inside of that I have the disk image that's encrypted. Now if I go over to another Mac and I have that here, I'm connected to this using screen sharing. So I have that same share, Secret, and I have the image. So I'll go back. So on this first computer here, I'll double click on this, and it will ask me for my password, so I'll type that in. It mounted on my desktop, so I can double click on it, and we have a file in it. So I can add another file to this by dragging. So the image is stored on my file server, and it's mounted on my Mac right now. So if I go to the other Mac, we can see how that presents itself. So on this other Mac, we have the image here. If I double click on this, it will give us an error message. It says the following disk images could not be opened. And it says resource temporarily unavailable. So I'll say OK. I'll go back to my first Mac. I'll close out this and I'll unmount this by right-clicking and saying eject. Now I'll go back to the second Mac. I'll double-click on this again, and when I closed it on the first Mac, it released it so I could open it here. So there we go. So what I'm demonstrating here is that you can take an encrypted disk share and store it on a file server, and then you can access it from different computers, but you can only have one computer using it at one time. So I'll give an example where you could use this. Say you have a file server set up in your home like a Synology NAS, and you and your partner have access to it. And on that share you may have a bunch of photos and things like that that are just kind of open. But you have these documents, say like tax documents, that you want to keep secret. So you could create an encrypted share, and then one of you at a time could go in there and open that and use those files. I also did a video on a Synology NAS where you can create an encrypted folder, but you have to actually log into the Synology Disk Station Manager to mount and unmount that, and you enter the password in on the Synology NAS. When you do it that way, you can have multiple people access it, but it's harder to mount and unmount. This way you can only have one person do it, but they can mount and unmount it with the password whenever they want. And as far as I know, the only way to do this is on a Mac. I don't think you can open these up on Windows or Linux. So since only one person can really use this at a time, it's important to unmount it when you're done using it. So I'll just eject it here. And now it's ready for the next person to get into it. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.